Alright everybody, and welcome back to another new world between the streams. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about what it's like to be playing on a small population server, as well as going over a little bit of things that have been happening over here. Uh, so, first off, on our last episode, we had a little bit of an issue with players transferring off before the merger, and that's all well and good because they wanted to go and seek out PvP opportunities on larger, more populated servers, which is all fine and dandy. But it essentially dissolved my company, which was Stray Dogs over on the Cape Pacha server, and so I ended up going over to Wolves of Mall Street, who were very kind enough to take me in. I had a lot of friends over there already, so it wasn't a very difficult transition. Although the person they ended up leaving my previous company with didn't want to be a governor, so had asked me to come over and run the company. And yeah, so as you can see, we are currently called One Last Stand. I am currently the governor over here. We still hold the two territories that my old company Wolves have had. Our members are a little bit lacking right now, but we're just trying to keep with our old allies and defend the territories as best we can going into the merge. And then, go from there. Probably start doing recruitments after that. With a small population server, it's hard to pull members in, but we're doing what we can at this point. As you can see, we still own Evanscale and Everfall. Wolves of Mall Street actually had a war recently. They still own Restless Shores. It's never changed colors, but they now own Cutlass Keys. It looks like a lot of the forts right now are also purple, except for this one, which is being attacked by green, and this one over here, which is currently taken by green. But for the most part, when the server started, it was almost all purple, and now it looks like it's going to die purple, unfortunately. But that out the way. Let's go over what's been going on with the smaller population. So, as you can see up here, we are currently in queue for Outpost Rush. It is like 8 a.m., so I'm not too surprised that the queues aren't going yet. Usually on my server, the queues don't get jumping until, usually around 12 o'clock, and then we'll have outpost rushes pretty much all day. Sometimes the outpost rushes will last until nighttime. We also have a few other players that have been doing a lot of farming. I myself, if you look at my trade skills, all my refining and gathering are completed. It took a long time to get the logging and woodworking up because they're just so tedious to do. The only one that's in the single digits still for me as far as crafting goes is the furnishing. And with trophies still being turned off, well, it's not been easy. I would really like to get some trophies made, but at this point we're just sort of rolling with the punches until that gets resolved. I'm assuming that there's going to be an update again this Wednesday or Tuesday, and then we're going to hear about transfers. Seeing as we haven't heard anything yet, I don't think we're going to be getting transfers this week. Hopefully by next week we'll hear something. They did say that they wanted to do 2 merges before the end of the year, so I'm assuming like in December we'll get the first one, and towards the end of December we'll get another, assuming that all goes according to plan. in my server cluster are currently like number 2 in the most active. So I would assume that the top 1 and 2 are going to have other areas pushed into them. I believe there's like 10 servers on my cluster, so we'll probably see like 4 groups of servers mashed into ours and 4 pushed into the other, making it 2 servers on our cluster, which is going to be okay, I suppose. Hopefully this means that we're going to be merged 2 instead of us having to go to another server, and we're able to keep our current territories, and at which point we can start recruiting, grabbing some PvP players that are willing to fight for territories. And this also means that there's going to be a lot of wars right off the bat, because people are going to be getting that 50k compensation for, you know, owning territories and losing them whenever they get pushed into our server. And, you know, that's all well and good. I mean, they should get some sort of compensation. I believe they also get to keep whatever money was in their coffers at that point as well. And, you know, they're going to be set for a while for declaring wars, and I'm going to be excited to see them. There's actually been recently a fair number of wars going on. Like, we have purple versus yellow right now, another purple versus yellow. This Ghost of Darkness is a newer server, or a newer transfer to our server, which is interesting. And this one as well, they're a newer transfer to our server. If we go into all companies, as you can see, number 1 in claims, there's number 2 there. If you look under members, Ghost of Darkness has 51 plus, so they're not even a full company, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Hopefully they have the opportunity to win their war. This one's 26 to 40, which is interesting. Hopefully that they manage to do well in their war as well. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people that transferred out were getting transfers in, and they've all been purple, which is rough. I would rather have seen some strong greens and yellows come in, because our server is currently very purple heavy, with a lot of the yellows jumping off the server in search of more PvP opportunities as well. And yeah, so we're just rolling with the punches over here. But again, this is always a really good opportunity for you to head out, you know, stay fully flagged, go out, get yourself some XP on some of your crafts. I am currently working on trying to make as many keys as I can. I just made the Genesis key. The Lazarus key can only be made once a week, which is, I have no idea why that's a thing, but I am going to be crafting this here in just a moment, and then using those once we switch to the new server to, you know, seeing as we can stay fully flagged usually on this server without having too many people attack. In fact, a lot of PvP players just avoid each other unless there's some name targeting going on, because everybody knows everybody on a smaller server. We tend to leave each other alone so that way everybody can make progress leading into this merge. Hopefully Amazon gets everything right and we see a large influx of players and without any, you know, bugs or mistakes that would cause people to lose any progress or anything like that. And yeah, I have faith that they're doing everything possible to make sure that the merger goes smoothly. So that said, I think that's pretty much all we wanted to talk about here. There will be some new giveaways down in the description. Make sure that you get in on those while they're still going on. We're going to have a bunch of indie games and whatnot. But as always, thank you everybody for stopping out. I hope you had a good time, and take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, stay healthy out there, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.